as well as Talai Kingmakers. And speaking of Talai Kingmakers, on our special feature tonight, while it traces its origin back to the Maasai community, the Talai clan is now deeply edged in the vast Kalenjin community. Having migrated to Nandi Hills more than 100 years ago, the clan is no longer a cog in the Rift Valley wheel, but a cultural and political cornerstone for the Kalenjin people that has kept the community's political wheels turning for decades. Having endured a well-foiled elimination attempt in the 20th century, the Talai people have risen through the ranks and now bear the tag Kingmakers, owing to their ability to crown leaders, including presidents. They attribute that to special powers only vested upon them by a higher power, and have become a darling for presidential aspirants in recent years. Our reporter David Mudoka interacted with the leaders of the little-known Talai clan and now brings us this special piece, the Talai Kingmakers.
At the crack of dawn on 5th June 2020, Deputy President William Ruto's convoy tore into the darkness of a sleepy Kapsisiywa village in Kapsabet, Nandi County, mainly inhabited by members of little-known Talai clan. Ruto's destination was this compound belonging to Mzee James Basi, the chairman of Talai Council of Elders, and the purpose of the trip, which residents only came to hear about hours later, was a coronation ceremony that will see Ruto installed as the Kalenjin community kingpin. The coronation was also seen as a crucial head start for Ruto in the race to becoming Kenya's 5th president. 2 hours later, the second in command left without much publicity, in the same way he had arrived. 6 months later, on 2nd January 2021, another convoy, this time belonging to Baringo Senator and Ruto's arch-rival Gideon Moi, similarly tore into the Kapsisiywa semi-darkness at dawn, headed to the compound of Talai elder Christopher Koyoki for a similar exercise. But unlike Ruto's visit that was shrouded in secrecy, Moi's arrival in Kapsisiywa had all the hallmarks of chaos, as rowdy youth blocked his convoy, forcing the Baringo senator and his entourage to abort their journey. It is the two events with contrasting outcomes that have since thrust Kapsisiywa village and its inhabitants, the Talai clan, into national prominence. Following the dawn incidents, the country was, however, left with more questions than answers about the clan, how it pulls so much political strings, and whether the rumors that it possesses mystic powers to foretell an election are true. To answer that, we took a trip to Kapsisiywa village located in Kapsabet, Nandi County, where for 2 days we interacted with elders from the Talai clan. Here, we could not help but notice that we were late to a party that has been popular with the entire presidential lineage since independence. Welcome to Kapsisiywa Ward, Mgwen constituency, Nandi County. The approximately 1,000 acres piece of land has been home to members of the Talai clan for decades. The clan is divided into 5 sub-clans. Residents here trace their origin to the Maasai community and were formerly known as Laibons when they first moved to the famous Nandi Hills in search for greener pastures during the pre-colonial period.
Na vile tulipika Nandi, wa Nandi wakatupokea na tukakaa na hawa. Baadaye akatambua hawa wana uongozi safi. Ndio wakachukua sasa hawa Laiboni kwa viongozi ya Nandi, ambaye alifanya hiyo kazi wakaongoza tuseme kutoka 1850 tukiendelea. Wanandi sasa anaambiwa ya kwamba ni wakati wa kupanda pandeni, ni wakati wa kufanya kitu fulani, wakati wa kupeleka watoto jandoni, ni wakati yeyote ambaye ilikuwa natangazwa, hawa walikuwa walaiboni wana direct Nandi.
When the British rule put its boots on Nandi soil in 1895, the Talai clan was in the forefront in resisting colonization and orchestrated a resistance movement that lasted for nearly 10 years.
Wazungu wako na maaskari wengi ambaye walikuwa na train ya hali ya juu na mapunduki na machine guns, lakini wakashangaa kupigana na mtu ambaye is not trained, hata bitia ma training yeyote kwa hiyo muta, na walikuwa wameshachoka. Wakaomba, sema wacha tukuje tufanye amani, tusungumuse. Wakapembelea sana mpaka mwishowe Koitalel Somoei ambaye alikuwa kiongozi ya Nandi akakubali. Basi wakaweka mahali ambayo watakutania Nandi Hills Ketbarak. Kweli huo mzungu akakuja na timu yake. Koitalel Somoei akakuja na timu yake ya ministers 23 peke yake. Sasa walipopanga laini, wale mzungu wakataka kusalamiana, kupeana mkono namna hii, na mzungu na huyo Mnandi alikuwa na nyasi grass, a bundle of grass, hii Kikuyu grass ambaye ni ishara ya amani. Alikuwa na bundle of grass katika mkono yake. Yule mzungu akapiga yeye.
When the colonizers eventually reigned supreme over the Laibon-led resistance in Nandi, the Talai clan was a target for elimination amid fears it could cook up another uprising. Through a Laibon removal ordinance, all Laibons were rounded up and sent to Kapsisiywa, a swampy area infested with tsetse flies and mosquitoes. The intention was to naturally wipe out the entire clan.
Walichakua mahali ilikuwa mbaya. Kwa maana mtoni upande huu inaitwa Kimondi, Kimondi huko chini, hapa ni Kiutanyi River na ile ni Pire River. Sasa katikati wakafikiria ya kwamba watakwenda malisika na mosquitoes.
But the clan persevered, and annihilation made Kapsisiywa its home and even grew in numbers. And in the same way its population grew, so did its popularity, especially within political circles after independence. Word was that Talai was not any other clan because a section of its members had mystic powers to foresee happenings, like it did with the coming of the British rule and the putting up of the Kenya-Uganda Railway.
These people have got special powers that they used to be consulted by the community of Kalenjin. And matters of ceremonies, matters to do with rain, matters to do with raiding expeditions, matters to do with sanctioning of circumcision ceremonies, matters to do with the slaughtering of a pool, a special kind of ceremony known as Sageta Beita.
Leaders at the time believed that a coronation from the clan would translate to a smooth political ride and began to hold its council of elders in high regard. The word found its way into State House, and in 1964 former President Jomo Kenyatta sought after the elders, who led by Barisian Arap Manyei administered a cleansing ritual on him at State House in Nakuru. 2 years earlier, President Daniel Moi had also met the clan at Kapkatet Stadium in Kericho. In the footsteps of their predecessors, Presidents Mwai Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta followed suit in 2017, but under different circumstances.
Kwa muda wa miaka 10 kama rais.
While Kibaki's coronation seemed a formality after retiring from office in 2013, Uhuru's was perhaps a measure of last resort after his victory in the August polls that year was nullified.
Past President Kenyatta alibadilishwa, tuko na mpicha sasa ndani hapa, na Moi alibadilishwa, Kibaki alibadilishwa, na hata Uhuru alikuwa anataka kukwepa, alafu kidogo Sijui akapata sita huko. Akarudi speed. Tukakuja Nandi Hills. So akaenda straight.
The leaders insist that due to the coronation, Uhuru's main opponent Raila Odinga bolted out of the repeat polls in October that year, clearing the way for the president's bid for a second term in office. Other leaders have also met the Talai clan in the past, among them ODM party leader Raila Odinga and his NARC Kenya counterpart Martha Karua.
An area known for producing some of the finest athletes the world has ever seen, including homegrown talent Eliud Kipchoge, is now hitting the headlines for a different reason altogether in recent months. Kapsisiywa's unsung role in shaping up the political landscape has seen various national leaders stream into what is otherwise a peaceful tea-growing village.
But it is the latest interactions involving the Talai Council of Elders and arch-rivals Gideon Moi and William Ruto that caught the attention of many. The supremacy battle pitting Moi and Ruto has had a toll on the once solid and united Council of Elders that is now facing sharp divisions. One faction is headed by the Talai clan chairman James Basi and was responsible for the dawn coronation of DP William Ruto.
It is at this house where in June last year, Deputy President and President hopeful William Ruto received the much coveted Talai blessings. And with 2 batons and an animal skin regalia, the DP was officially the Kalenjin community kingpin.
When you put the weight between William Ruto and Gideon Moi, it is very clear that William Ruto is the choice of the entire Kalenjin community. Because in 2006, William Ruto was given the mandate by the entire Kalenjin community to be the spokesman. You see, there is that notion of Moism. You see, you don't impose people to Kalenjin. You don't impose a leader to the Kalenjin. The Kalenjin choose their leader.
Watu wote, tuna watu wote, Wanandi wengi, Wakalenjin wengi, lakini wasee watachagua moja because of kwa shauri ya hii na hii na hii na hii.
It is also allegedly responsible for thwarting a similar ceremony that was to be undertaken by KANU chairman and Baringo Senator Gideon Moi by a rival faction 6 months later, still in Kapsisiywa. That rival faction is led by former councillor Christopher Koyoki, who once deputized Basi as the Talai Council of Elders vice chairman, but was expelled in the aftermath of Ruto's coronation for opposing it.
Kwanza hata kuhusisha wazee wa Talai, huyo pasta alitafuta jamii yake na marafiki yake, hata wale wazee wa Talai Council of Elders alienda kuchagua wengine ambaye sikuwa na chama. Alienda kutoa mapatri yake 4 ya Catholic 2 na mtoto yake na bibi yake kwa 4. Na hakuna kitu kama hiyo tu, hakuna siku moja tumesema wakitaka kutawasha mtu patri ya Kapasi peke yake ndio watakuwa huko.
The two have hardly seen eye to eye, with Moi's coronation which took place in Kabarak 20 days later after his trip had been cut short in Kapsisiywa, exacerbating an already dire situation. This time the renegade Koyoki, in the company of leaders from his sub-clan, had ferried the tools of trade to Nakuru, catching the other faction off guard.
Kitun hakuleta hivi 3 years hapana raisi, 3 years hapana siku moja kama hii, mwaka 3 tena tunafanya kitamaduni. Mambo ikataka fanya hivi, tuku mawe tunatoa. Ni nani aswa kiongozi? Anasema Gideon. Tunaenda ngine na tunachinja ng'ombe kundu anaonyesha. Tunatoa ile mawe yetu, tunamwaka, anasema Gideon.
According to Koyoki, his breakaway faction holds the anointing powers and that the DP might have been scammed by the Basi faction.
Hata tangu siku hiyo Gideon William Ruto wakati natawasha, sinaona William iko na matatizo mingi kwa sababu natokana na hiyo kutawasha yake. Naona tuliwatawasha Gideon siku hiyo, sinaona ameshoot hata pato kuruti hata nyuma. Pato naenda kabisa. Tena naenda mzuri. Hapana naenda hivi. Anaenda mzuri kabisa. Anaanzia Laikipia, anaenda huko Ukambani, anaenda Garissa, anaenda Samburu. Tena naona amepata nafasi mingi ya kuzungumzia Kenya. Hata wakati wa kutoa press statement. Siye ilikuwa nasoma. Hiyo ni promotion na babana.
Koyoki kwanza alikuwa vice chairman yangu. Na tulipanga pamoja na yeye. Na alikuwa amekuwa namna hii. Hata alikuwa anajua. Isijapokuwa akasema atakuja saa 11 tarehe 5 kabla ya kuamkia tarehe 6 ambaye tulifanya hiyo kazi. Yeye hakukuja. Na kumbe alikuwa amebadilika.
He's just like a black hermit. He's just only in the wilderness alone. He's representing himself. He's not representing the views of the land.
But what really happens in an ideal Talai coronation, and why did both Ruto and Moi go through the hassle of meeting the grey-haired council? The exercise must happen at dawn. In the exercise, every Talai sub-clan is represented by 5 elders. The Talai clan consists of 5 sub-clans, otherwise known as families.
Turugat, Kapsogon, Kamararsoi, Kapsanet, and Kapyasan.
Upon presenting himself or herself for coronation, oil is poured on the leader's hands, legs and head and allowed to flow freely. Several instruments of power are then handed over to the leader, among them a baton, a lion skin headgear, a 4-legged stool and a royal regalia.
Kiti ya coronation ambaye sasa wewe umetazwa, hiyo kiti ambayo unakalia ni umepewa kukalia hiyo kutuongoza.
It is thereafter a burnt sacrifice is carried out, but critics have in recent years branded the elders sorcerers, citing how they are feared by other clans in the Kalenjin community. But the elders insist that they are not alarmed by critics, stating that they are often misjudged while undertaking their bigger role in the society.
The community considers them to be having special blessings.
Na hao wenyewe watu wa Tugen, watu wa Kapsisiywa, watu wa Keyo, Merkwet wanakubali.
The scathing attacks and the divisions could, however, be the least of their problems if in a few years historical injustices meted upon them are dealt a wide berth. According to Basi, the clan has been rapidly growing and that Kapsisiywa might soon be overwhelmed by the sharply rising population. To them, a return to Nandi Hills, where they were evicted from a century ago, is long overdue, and so is compensation for playing a significant role in the fight for independence, just like the Mau Mau.
Na mbona kutoka 63 mpaka sasa 2021, that is almost 60 years katika inji ambaye is independent country, ambaye tumepata uhuru, and we are still crying. The same problem that we were facing during colonial time is still going on up to date.
While they are feared and loved in equal measure, they too, just like any other clan, face challenges. Stealth is their strategy and are quite comfortable in playing their role behind the scenes. It is a role they insist they will not shy away from, and when the time comes to pass on the baton to future generations with no holds barred, they will comply. David Mudhoka, TV 47.